Okay, hello to all my digital peeps and beyond. This video is for our Mantra Monday videos. Okay, so I want to go over again what mantra really means. So I put it on my little card just so I don't get tongue twisted. Sometimes I tend to do that, and then I go off on my tangents though. So there's a couple of meanings here. A sacred verbal formula repeated to aid in prayer, meditation, or incantation, or a commonly repeated word or phrase, especially in advocacy or for motivation. Okay, I'm just going to share that a couple more times for the mantra Monday videos, just because I want whoever's out there that isn't familiar with like spirituality and the mantras and all that. And I say mantra, and it's so funny because my husband's like he's like, why do you say mantra? He's like, just say mantra. And I'm like, because I don't feel like I want to say it that way. I want to say mantra, like that feels better for me. So yeah, I will be 100% me every day. Okay, so I'm just gonna share with you right now basically some of my mantras, because I want you guys to see, and I do go back and forth. I want to just kind of give ideas and to help for people out there that may be having trouble coming up with their own mantras, or and you can always Google this. You can Google it. You can look for other like spiritual leaders or spiritual coaches, and they're all about mantras, right? They're about meditation, and mantras are a very big part of that. So yoga instructors, who else would use mantras? I mean, like, pretty much like anybody in the spiritual realm. Oh, my arm is getting. One moment. Oh, yeah. Let's see. I don't want to stop. Okay. Let's rest. That's better. Yeah, so anybody in the spiritual like industry or niche can, you can learn from and look up online and to just Google like different mantras that can help you, and how just look at different categories in your life where you feel like you're like where it's lacking something, or where you feel like it's just not right. I don't feel my strongest in that area. I maybe want to put in a little work in this area. So from health to the your physical fitness to your internal fitness, right? Foods that you eat, to maybe your love life or your relationship, your pretty much, if you work on you and you work on yourself as just being the best person you could be, that's going to penetrate, and it's going to show up in different areas. So if you're just a great person, and you're just working on you, in yourself, it's going to show up as you being a great mother. It's going to show up as you being a great, father, or a great wife, or it just makes sense. I mean, how can you not, if you're doing the best that you can to be, like a really loving, understanding, like strong you, that's really like putting these values and principles in place, right? I mean, it just makes sense that, of course, if you're implementing that in your life, then you don't have to think about, oh, what kind of mother do I need to be? That's a mutter which is what my kids say. Hey, mother. A mother is just a title, right? But that's not it. A mother isn't like your character. It's not who you are. So that's what we want to concentrate. So the mantras, right, is something I just started implementing myself maybe in late 2016. So within the last year and a half. And one of the ways I do this is I have these index cards, and I show them. I showed it last time, and I shared a couple of my mantra cards, and I have over 100 of these index cards. One day I think I just went to like 60, because I already had an idea of, okay, I want to do something in my relationship. Now, I came from a place of my relationship to my husband, my relationship to my kids. I was looking, and I was like, okay, where do I feel like I'm like lacking? And I know the whole idea of, well, don't concentrate on your weaknesses, like work on your strengths and what you're great at and what you're good at. And that's all great to a certain point, but for me, I just feel like where there's an area in my life where I know I can do better, that's different, right? I'm not talking about like in an area where like you're doing the best you can, but it's just not making the cut, right? It's just not good enough, I guess, to get you to wherever it is you need to go. Like, for example, like, okay, here's a very simple but important thing to some people, is like when people write posts, and it's actually a pet peeve of mine. Like when I'm writing a post to somebody or a message and I mess up on a word, like that irritates me. Like I have to fix it, right? But that's like a weakness. I feel like that doesn't hold me back from being a great person. It doesn't hold me back from being a good person because I have a few misspellings. And there's other people, they don't give a shit. They're like, I'm just gonna write and hey, if there's a few misspellings, they're not gonna go back and like change it, you know. But that's for them. But those are the kind of things I'm talking about. Things that aren't gonna really like have any, you know, they're not gonna be detrimental to your character, or they're not gonna keep you from your goals and from meeting your commitments that you're trying to do, right? And I'm going off on tangent number 1 or 2, I'm sure, but just keep that in mind. When I'm talking about areas in your life where you know in your mind, you're like, well, why did I say that? Why did I do? Why am I doing that? I know I shouldn't be. And that's an issue. If you are aware and you know there's something you shouldn't be doing, we need to actively work on ourselves and stop the bullshit, basically. And I'm just gonna call people out because, like I said, mentioned in my other video, my Sacred Saturday video, this last one, what is the 30th, so whatever this recent Saturday was, January 27th, I guess, or whatever it was, check that out, right? I go into a little bit of a riff on that. And oh man, I'm losing my thought right now. Hold on one second. Ooh, to get that oxygen in. What am I trying? I'm trying to think of and say too many things at once. Right. So it's not about how you're thinking the bad thoughts or how you're feeling in a bad kind of way. It matters the actions that you do and what you're, you know, what you're going to physically bring forth and impose on another person, right? That may cause damage or pain or hurt to them intentionally, you know. So that's a different thing. Then that's something that we probably should want to work on to improve ourselves and to just be the best version of ourselves in that department that we can be. So hopefully that makes sense, right? So I'm going to give you some ideas that I have that I've written down. And maybe this will just either get you going if you haven't started your cards already, or what it'll do is it'll you can add anything that I say. You're more than welcome to take on and to add and to use. Now, you know, all of these aren't my word for word. Like some of these I get because I'm listening to, you know, some podcasts, or I'm listening to another like life coach that's like very spiritual, and like they say some bomb ass things. I'm like, and I resonate with it. So I'll take it and I'll put it into my own words. Like, yeah, that's my belief, or I exactly understand. Or sometimes they'll bring awareness to me and say, wow, I never thought about that. Thank you for that. So where I can, I do give credit and I'll give a shout out to. But this is by in no means I take in like, you know, word for word what somebody else says. I always, and that's how I've always taken notes in my own words. Some people like to take, wow, does that, oh, sorry, there I go with the cards again. It looked like a card. It's super bad. Anyways, some people like to take notes word for word, and where I feel like it's best, I do that. But for the most part, the point of that whole little mini rant is to let you know that these are all in my own words and my own thought patterns, and this is coming from, you know, like a place in me where I'm just articulating it and pulling it out. And other people, they tend, you know, they cannot do that. That's why it's very good to expose yourself and to get out there. I think a lot of us like to live like little hermit crabs and think we're keeping ourselves safe from people and from other people, and then maybe sometimes we have anxieties and stuff, but that's because you don't have practice being around other people. So try it out. It's freaking, it's amazing having these wonderful bomb relationships with other like-minded people, right? That you can just laugh with and just be you with. So here we go. And this is actually not a mantra. It's a it could be actually, though. It could be turned into a mantra if you wanted to. This is a quote from Henry David Thoreau, and I believe I'm saying that right? So he says, and this, oh my gosh, this touches me in my heart like so deep. It says, wealth is the ability to fully experience life. Boom. Let's say that again. Wealth is the ability to fully experience life. And I'm going to just touch on that a little bit. And poor Robin Williams, God bless and rest his soul. Nobody, I'm not making no judgment. No, I love the guy. I mean, from his videos and from just a couple of, you know, seeing him on how he spoke, like, you know, different interviews or whatever he was doing. But like, I felt from my own experience and interpretation of him that he was a pretty good guy, you know, and I'm sure he had some dark things that he did and went through. But the poor man felt like he had to end his life, you know, and I don't know the whole backstory, if he was going through some kind of like illness, or if he was just felt like he didn't want to go on and take it anymore. I don't know if he was in any kind of physical pain, but I feel like stories like that where, you know, look at their lives. They have the wife, they have the kids, or I don't want to say the wife, but the spouse, right? They have the children, they have the money. And people seem to think that, oh, if I just have that wife, there I go again, because I'm thinking about him in a situation specifically. So they think, if I just have that spouse, if I just get married, if I just have that baby, if I just do this, everything outside of me, get that money and become rich, I'm going to be happy. It's going to make me happy. But in actuality, no. As you can see, a lot of people that take their lives, they were obviously suffering from something. They're obviously going through something where, and it may have been like, just because he took his own life, maybe it's not a place where he came like, where he felt like, dang, I'm so horrible, I'm such a bad person, I feel like I need to take my life. Maybe it was just a place where, like, you know what, whatever I'm going through, like, I don't want to go through this pain. Maybe it was a physical pain or something, like, I just don't want to go through this anymore. So, you know, I'm just going to remove myself from you know, my life. I think it needs to end here. And it's sad that people think like that, but we don't know what they're thinking or what they're going through, right? So just a little bit on that about judgment. I once kind of had a deep judgment on people being selfish, taking their own life, and you know, leaving behind responsibilities like, you know, kids. Spouses not so much, because they're an adult, they can move on, but when you take yourself away from your children and you remove, you know, yourself, where you're the one that's there, supposed to be raising them and showing them the, you know, the way and what kind of human beings they need to be. And so you remember, everything that we do in our life, we're basically telling that child, like, hey, this is okay for you to do, so if I do it, it's okay for you to do it, right? So that's you know, my opinion about that. But you know, just a lot of the things that I've learned and I've picked up on, it's like, you can't put judgment on other people, and you don't understand what they're going through, and you don't know what you would do if you were in their shoes. And here's the kicker: nobody can ever say that they know what another person in this whole wide world is going through, because you would have to be born in their shoes, go through every experience, every heartache, every pain, every laughter, every thing that they exactly went through, and be put in that position at the time that they make that decision to see what you do. And there ain't no way that any of us are gonna be able to do that. So just chill out on the judgments, right? Like, as if everybody, you know, people, and we all just know each other because we have similar situations. We don't. We all have different walks of life and different paths, right? So that's a little bit of some other stuff for you. Okay, so if you're still with me, great. We're going on 12 minutes, but I'm telling you, it's good stuff. I'm telling you, I wish somebody told me this stuff. So look, here's a mantra, right? Writing strengthens the memory. Writing strengthens the memory. Writing strengthens the memory. Ooh, hold on one second. Oh, my arms. I need to work them out more. Okay. I'm not going to go on a tangent about that, but it's just proven that there's power when you put pen to paper, okay? So we'll leave it at that. Now, this one was special. I actually went through all my 100 and some cards, and I wanted to specifically pick these. So I have a pretty good memory when it comes to certain things. Things I'm very much into, obviously, as I think we all do. And I can pretty much remember. So if some of these are repeated, obviously I felt like there was a strong need to share it again. But most of the time, the mantras that I share with you every Monday will be brand new for you, okay? So here we go. I believe it to see it. I see it to feel it. You have to feel things in order to get that manifestation going, in order to bring it into the physical realm, right? I feel it to receive it, and I receive it because I believe it. You see how that goes full circle? And that came from me and my heart and my own little brain yang. So feel free to use that, you know, pass it on. You know what I mean? Like, you can give thanks to me in silence or thanks to me as a shout out. However, if it's going to help you, freaking, you know, write it down and read that to yourself over and over and over, because we got to get your mind. We got to start working on the whole point to all of this. The whole point to all of these theme videos, I put these out because I felt that these were the areas right now where I felt like people could really use these as the best tools to free yourself, to free your mind, to free your spirit, to free your, you know, the debt that you have I mean, and that's the part I'm working on. I'm working on the whole money aspect, right, of understanding how, like, money works and the value exchange and all that, and, you know, and understanding that I'm worth, you know, every penny that people put into me, that want to, you know, learn from me and take take and help and help themselves with things that I've learned and experienced and what I have to offer, right? So, and I'm working on that in me. So that's pretty much like the last part. Of course, I work constantly on other things, you know, like the mindset and the spiritual, but I think in those departments I'm pretty comfortable and okay with like learning and believing in certain things and just growing and kind of keep pushing myself. But with the money aspect, as we all do, right, we all have an issue around the tangible, like just cash money. And it's more than, it's just, you know, money is just like, it's just a symbol of the abstractness of okay, how can I explain it? And you know what, I'm not even gonna get there. That'll be left for another day. We will talk about, let's continue on with these mantras, right? Because I'm the type of person, I want to give it all. I want to give it all on the first date and share everything with you, and just because it's just, I really want to help people. I really want people, especially, you know, strong, tough women, especially, you know, men that feel like they're just, you know, like my husband always tells me, you're the dominant one. I'm like, don't fucking use that as an excuse, you know, like, don't use that. Like, you can be dominant in your own right, and you could be in your own truth and know who you are and what you want. You know, don't put it on me if you're not getting or doing something that you need. So, you know, of course, there we go. Hold on one second. Man, I need to get my stand. Anyways, but here's the thing. It's all about leading to freedom, right? Freedom of everything in your life, and really only owing it to one person, which is here physically on this earth is yourself, and then, you know, out beyond ourselves is our creator, right? God is honoring him and thanking him for him or her, you know, for the blessings that we've got and that God's allowed us to have, right? And then using those blessings and those gifts to help others, to help elevate others, to bring others up that want to help themselves, though. Not others that want to just hang on to your feet and go for the ride in the back seat, but the ones that are going to be right in the driver's seat with you, you know, actually, you know, being a co-pilot. So here, let's continue on with the mantras. Okay, I deserve and I'm worthy of a beautiful, adventurous life. I am worthy. Okay, let's go on. One second. Sorry, my cards are getting stuck together. Okay, my commitments are a valuable asset that I do not give away lightly. And if you don't understand what that means, first of all, use your own mind, use your own perception, think about these words, and then come up with the conclusion first. And if you don't understand, or you want to know because you want to like get the value from that, and you can't get the value from something you don't understand, obviously, right? Then leave me a comment below and I'll be happy to answer, you know, like your questions, or to explain it more, to leave another video about it. So I'll repeat it again. My commitments are a valuable asset that I do not give away lightly. And in layman's terms, basically that means that your time is precious and it's not unlimited. You have a finite amount of minutes and time. So, you know, you need to spend those minute dollars wisely. All that I need is within me. And that is something I recently came up with for my little girl. Thank you, Amber, to her. She helped me to push myself because she was in a place of suffering and need. And, you know, I was thinking, well, dang, what would I want my mom to help me out with and to teach me, and what would I have needed if I was her? And so I want her to understand from a young age that everything that she needs is locked away inside her. It's in there, and she just needs to open it up and reveal that, and to just be in that, right? And to relish in it, and to appreciate herself, that she's different and she's the only one in this world. Okay, let's move on. There is no way I can fuck it up. Now this is a twist on Amanda Francis. Thank you so much. She turned me on to the fact that I was always in an idea of like, okay, if there's something that happens, I'll recover from it. If there's something that happens, I can start over, or I can do better. But Amanda put it to us, and she says, from a post that she said basically that she realized that there's no way she can fuck it up. And that gave me a different perspective, like, wow, okay. So instead of just thinking like, oh my gosh, if I do this and I mess it up and I'm, you know, messing up, her idea is she can't fuck it up, she can't mess it up. So because, you know, she's doing things for as best as she can you know, as the best her that she can be. And she realized, like, things aren't as serious as a lot of us portray them to be. We make these mountains out of molehills, right? And then that's where the perception of, oh my God, I'm fucking this up, I'm messing this up, what am I doing? You know, so, okay, so this is what I put from her post on that. So I said, there's no way I can fuck it up because I am always capable of shifting and realigning. So I made that mantra to thank you to that. Okay. I am a mother of joy. I am a mother of joy. I am a mother of joy. I know a lot of times I tend to be really like hard, very hardcore and hard on my kids, and I'm like, you know, it's just that masculine energy comes out in me, and I'm very kind of like, sometimes no excuses, but then that, you know, there's a part of me that's just so soft, and I'm just, you know, when I allow myself to open up and I catch myself and I release, it's just like, you have to remember, you know, I was speaking to myself, I need to remember, I want to be a mother of joy too. I don't want my kids to grow up thinking that they're afraid to ask me anything, thinking that they need to be afraid to question me, or, you know, or to figure out, well, why is this? Why is it? They should be asking, kids should be asking that. Now, they could do it with respect, right? They could do it with a good tone. They don't have to be disrespectful when they're questioning us. But a lot of us, like parents, we don't like that. We're like, why are you always questioning us? But at the end of the day, to some degree, you know, like we try to explain to them, like, hey, we're here, we're your parents, we're here to teach you for a certain amount of time. That's all we got. So you need to trust us when we're trying to teach you something, because you can either learn from us and do things, you know, and be safe, which is really what it's all about. It's about keeping our kids safe, but at the same time, we can't live their lives for them. They're gonna have to learn to do things on their own, right? And we could only teach them the best way we can. But that's what we come from, a place of realness, not really a place of, well, because we say so, we're your parents and that's just how it is, and, you know, God gave you to me, so you need to do exactly what I say. Because we don't. Even though we're parents, we don't have all the answers. We don't know everything. Our kids, probably, if we allow ourselves to open up and listen to them, they could probably teach us some things. So anyways, there's probably tangent number 3 or 4. Okay. God loves me, God is abundant, and God is all around me. That's a great one. God loves me, God is abundant, and God is always all around me. 2 more people. Okay. Whatever it is, whoever it is that is in my way, I release it. I'm bound by no thing and no one on this earth. And that is something for me that is like, I believe in 100%. I started really taking on this belief about a couple years ago, and I was like, you know what? It's just true. I mean, there's nothing and no person here without my permission, without my allowing it, that is going to hold me back or hold me down. There isn't anything unless God himself comes down and says, okay, Amanda, like, your time is up. Sorry, Mandy, I forget that on my business. You know, this is it. Like, so that's what I believe. And I believe as long as I'm living in my, in a good way, I don't really necessarily believe in a right or wrong way. You know, people put like these judgment and these limitations on, oh, what's right and what's wrong, and how, you know, like, it's wrong to take your kids on the road and to live full time, and it's wrong to not go get a job, it's wrong, all this stuff. And that's why I was like, you know what, my mind shifted. I realized as long as I'm doing stuff that's good for the betterment of humankind and for my children and for this planet, right, that's all I'm going to really be concerned with. That's really, and as long as I'm being the best person that I can be in a good way, that's what I'm going to allow, you know, to guide my decisions. So last one, people. Okay. My life is so sacred that if I am requested to give any part of it, I expect and deserve value in return. Full circle value, that what I call value for value exchange. And I believe in this more and more every day, that everything, every trial, every triumph that I've had, all the hills, all the valleys, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the aches, the pains, right, everything, the good and the bad that I've ever been through, that's led me to this point. I feel like I'm here to help others walk them through it. Obviously, yes, God, right? He is the God is the ultimate being, the highest of the high. He is our creator. Okay, but with that, okay, let me tell you a joke. I want to tell you a joke. I may have said this before, but for those that are just seeing this for the first time, here, check this out. There's a joke. It goes like this. Whenever it comes with God, because I know a lot of people talk about, well, how do I know that God wants me to do this? How do I know that God's this and that, and is maybe God this and maybe God that, right? Here's one of the things, and I always like to go segue into that through this joke. Okay, it goes, one day there is a man, he was on a boat or something. Let's just say, he fell into the water, right? His boat drifts away. This man's in the water, and he's like, he's miles away from anything, from any land or whatever, and he's swimming and he's swimming and he's swimming, and sooner that he gets tired, and he's like, God, help me, God, please come me. And so here comes a man in a boat, and he's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, come here, come in my boat, let me help you. And the man that's in the water, he's getting tired, he's drowning. He's like, no, God's gonna save me. Thank you though. So the man in the boat says, okay, he goes along, right? And so the guy's swimming, he's swimming, and he's getting more tired, and he's like, God, please save me, please. And then so here comes another boat. Sir, are you okay? He's telling the man in the water. He goes, oh my God, get in my boat, let me help you. And the guy goes, no, I'm good, God's gonna save me, he's gonna help me. So the man in the boat goes, okay. He takes off. So the man, he's swimming, he just gets so tired that he finally his body gives out. He ends up drowning, and he goes to heaven, right? When he gets to heaven, he says, hey, God, what happened? Why didn't you save me? And God says, I sent you 2 boats. And I just think that is such a lighthearted way and a loving way to just say this. That a lot of the times we ask for these signs. We ask for God to show us the way. We ask to see that his support is there for us to go on. And a lot of the times I believe that it could come in the form of sometimes him not doing anything, because he wants to see how you're going to do it and what you're going to do it. I sometimes believe that he puts things in our lives, but then what do? We look at it and say, oh no, I don't, that's not the way I wanted to do it. I got to do that in order to get that. I don't know if, see, but then people will think this of me, or people will feel this way about me, and how will it this and that, right? And so you have to be open to that. And that's why being in tune, oh wow, white butterfly, with yourself, and being in tune with your spirit, right? And being spiritually in touch with God, not just through the church, not just through, like whatever your sacred book is, but like speaking to him through what he left inside of you is so important too. There's not just one way to do things in this life, and that is my belief, and nobody can contest that, because it's my truth, it's my belief, it's what I've come to a conclusion on. And that's always evolving, that's always growing and changing as I get deeper into my own spirituality, as I get closer to God, as I have more faith and trust. And here's the thing, I'm going to speak more about this in my Tuesday truth video, because I have one more video to do. But we have to learn to trust in that voice and that beacon that's speaking out to us. We have to learn that when we ask for something, it doesn't always come in the form that we envision in our minds. There's something greater and bigger than us, and that there's a plan. And I mean, you can't see this whole world of what's going on. You can't see all of the lifelines that everybody's doing, and how this is crossing into, and we're crossing paths and interweaving with everybody. You can't possibly see what is being put into creation here. So there's little telltale signs that we need to learn to trust, to tap into, and to have faith with. And I failed one of those tests just actually yesterday, because I was having those exact same thoughts. So do I pass every single test, or like, do I pass every situation, or do I absolutely make the best and right decision that I feel like for me is? No. I sometimes ignore myself. I ignore that voice sometimes still, and I'm still learning to become more and more one-on-one with that intuition and that voice and that inner beacon. So because why? I'm human too. But there was a decision I did. I denied myself. I didn't do it. I didn't feel like I was listening to my spirit or God speaking to me. And I felt bad about it. I still do. So, you know, we're all human, and that's another thing. So anyways, get your mantras, write them down, have a journal of mantras, or have a you know, like the little index cards that I have, and do your mantras however you want to do it. Just start practicing, putting them into practice, and I promise you, your life will start to change. You will start seeing shifts in your own mindset, thus for pushing you toward, you know, your freedom, your very own individually unique freedom life that is tailored specifically and only for you. So, okay, you guys have a beautiful, blessed day, morning, noon, night, evening, wherever you are in this world. Be kind to yourself and to others. Try something new. Mantra cards. See where it takes you. And, you know, be a free spirit. Have a brave heart. Bye. I'll catch you in the next video.